Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at the SP1 from DI Optical. This is my third DI Optical optic, and I must say this one's a little bit different than the rest. As you can see here, here's the FC1, the EG1C, and there's the SP1. The FC1 and the EG1 are really blocky, and that seemed to be the norm there for a while, and then they went ahead and went out with this one. This is their newest one they came out with, the SP1. It's a completely different look. It's more of a modernized look. I really like what they did with it. I really enjoy the look of these ones as well because I like how they're different, but I like the fact that they have an option to go more modernized with the rest of them. This optic's on the Artemis build. This is our 762x39, and so that means this thing gets a lot of kick, but it's been handling it really well. We've had it for about a month now. We've got to play around with it, and let's go over some features here of the optic and take a look around it. So let's go ahead and look at this thing over and show all the key features. First off, you have this spacer here. If you guys like this height, you can leave it there. If not, you can take that off and it can be a little bit lower depending on what application you're going to be putting this on. So that gives it a little more versatility with different type of guns and mounts it can go with. Next up right here is your battery compartment. You take two screws off and you pull that straight out, and it's a CR2032 battery, so they're pretty easily accessible. Next up is here the only two buttons on the optic, and they're pretty self-explanatory. It's an up and down button. This one is to turn it up, that one's to turn it down. If you want to turn it on, hold one down, and your optic's on, and there's a reticle. It is a 1.5 millimeter dot, and it's really crisp just like the rest of the dots. If you guys ever ran any other DI Optical red dots, it's going to look the same as the rest of them. This is virtually parallax free. There's really no optic out there that is parallax free, so this is pretty much as close as it comes. And then here on the side you have your windage and elevations. They have a nice little feature here that a lot of different companies will go with, but some companies don't. That when you take this off, you have a little notch in there, and then you have this lifted notch here on the cap itself, and you can adjust your elevation just by using the cap. So it's kind of cool that you can use that and you don't have to have any extra tools when adjusting your elevation. I'll leave that off for a second. Next, we're going to go ahead and look at these quick detach mounts. Just like all the rest of them, if you guys are familiar with them, they all come with quick detach mounts. This one's just like the EG1C. It has a little more surface area here to grip onto, and unlike the FC1 where it's a lot smaller, it's just a circle, but it has that grippage to it. This one does not. But what's nice is they have these little slits here in them, so you can take your tool that DI Optical supplies you, you slide it in there, and you can get a really tight fit on there, and it won't go anywhere. Or you can just hand tighten it, which I usually hand tighten this one, and it's very easy to take off if you want to, but it still keeps it zero. I've had this one on the 300 blackout for a really long time. I just took it off for this review, also took this one off the Zeus for a review, and I haven't had them break zero or come loose. This one I actually tightened down with this, and I had to use this again to get it untightened because it was so tight. So you have that option to either do it that way, but usually I just hand tighten them so I can get them off quickly if need be. Alright, so price point. What's crazy about this is how cheap it is. Compared to the rest of these optics, these are higher priced because they do make military grade optics, so you're getting what you pay for. So my jaw dropped a little bit when I found out the price of this one. This is MSRP for $219. So the quality that you're getting for such a cheap price is kind of unbeatable out there. There's really not a lot of optics like this that are this cheap. So finding something like this is great and jumping on it as quick as possible before the price point goes up because of the demand on them. I know they sold out very quickly the first time they went on sale. So trying to get your hands on one is a little difficult right now because they're out of stock. But the price point right now is very, very cheap. So if you get an opportunity to get these, jump on one. I would definitely recommend one. They also are coming out with an SP1C. I'm going to get my hands on that here in June. It actually has a reticle that is a dot and a circle. It's a lot like the EG1C, which let me turn it on here for you. If you're not familiar with it, it's got the dot and circle on it. And that's the same thing that the C version of the SP1 is going to have. So if you don't like just the dot and you want the circle, you can wait for that one to come out as well. Let's go ahead and compare the dots of each one of these. Here's the SP1, the FC1, and of course the very distinct EG1C reticle. And if you guys are interested, like I said before, in the circle and dot, go ahead and just wait for the SP1C to come out here soon and pick one up of those as well. It's going to have the exact same look here of the SP1, it's just going to have the circle dot. All in all, I'm very happy with this optic, all the testing that we've done on it so far. It's a very nice little optic, and for the price point, like I said, you just can't beat it. Having the quality of a DI Optical optic and such a cheap package, and such actually really nice looking. And it's definitely modern. It looks like a lot of different ones, but at the same time, it still has that original look that makes people kind of look at it and be like, oh, what is that? It doesn't look like the rest, but it still keeps that tubular style, and they went away from that blocky style that they were before. But it's nice to know that you can get a optic like this from a quality company like DI Optical that makes military grade optics and still not break the bank. So it's a good option to have. I'd still recommend all their optics because I've ran all of them and I really enjoy them all. But it's just nice to have options, and the fact that they really care about your customers, and they'll give you guys the really expensive optics if you guys want, and they also have a little less expensive optics for those of you that don't want to spend that much money. If you guys are interested in these optics, any one of them, also the RV1, which we've posted on our Facebook and Instagram, we're going to be doing a review on that one soon as well. Make sure you guys hit up DI Optical. I cannot put a link to the description in the website, but just go ahead and Google them and you'll find them. Make sure you guys check us out, as always, on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Subscribe, like, comment, and we appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.